On to race number 5 now, and this race is over the 1650 for the Class 4s. Dinkum is on the Class Drop. In Kento, Prepared has the earplugs off. Splendid Living gets the cheek pieces back on again. Riders Rain was a winner 2 starts ago, but that was 1800 metres. Fearless Fire, he's a 5-time course and distance winner. June Planet, second look at the 1650 at the Valley. Millennium Falcon has the hood and the visor off. The tongue tie goes on. Travel Guide has the cheek pieces on. In Fortune President, he's got a win next to his name, Tom, 3 starts ago, but it was on the all-weather. It
was, and he hasn't got a great record on the turf at all. This race could set up nicely for Splendid Living off the front with not a lot of pace in it. Fearless Fire's been a little bit below his last couple, but he can also race forward and he shouldn't get caught wide like he did last start. Thought the race set up maybe quite nicely here, Paul, for Dinkum, but did get a little keen in the trail last start.
He did, didn't he, Dinkum? So we'll see where how he races once he gets into that trail. Fearless Fire, he likes to go forward. He's a tough horse. Big 2, just a query on him. He's drawn wide, but I thought Splendid Living will get a soft lead.
We can find out a little more about Splendid Living right now because Nick spoke to his rider, Harry Bentley.
Harry, Splendid Living has been a good horse in recent times. You've been on board for those last 3 runs, but he continues to acquit himself well.
He does. I was very happy with his win the time before last, and I expected him to go close last time, which he did. He ran a cracking race. Clearly that form is stacking up well. He comes into this race in great form.
And on that last performance, obviously 18 Palms getting the better of him, obviously a lightly raced horse. So he's certainly holding his own against horses that are on the improve.
Yeah, he is. You know, I've always thought he's a horse that's sort of learning quite slowly, but every time I do sit on him, he's just that little bit straighter. So I think there's more improvement to come from him.
Interesting, obviously, you say that, given that he is sort of nurturing into what is a nice type of horse around here. No pace in this race on paper, Harry, so the lead does look up for grabs. He clearly is a happy horse from the front, isn't he?
He is. He seems he's got that early gate speed and gets to the front fairly easy, and he's a very strong traveller. So I just don't think we'll overcomplicate things. You know, he's not a horse that has to lead or anything like that. But if there's not much pace early on, then I'm more than happy to take it up.
How much of an influence on the decision with cheek pieces going on back on did you have?
Yeah, I mentioned it to Ricky afterwards. We both discussed the pros and cons, and he's a horse that he was a little bit keen before, but I feel like he's settling quite nicely now. But as I mentioned, he's just got that little bit of greenness in him, so it might just encourage him to stay that bit straighter.
Yeah, you and he certainly have gelled. Just on yourself, Harry, that's 17 winners now this season. 25 was last season's tally. I think we're around about 22 meetings out from the end of the season, so well on target to surpass last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm relatively happy with how the season's going and has gone. We've got that little bit left to go, so hopefully I can just finish strongly, and I'd love to surpass last year's tally.
Splendid Living may be able to help with that. We'll find out if the boys do think so in just a moment, though, Paul, because we've got a few more replays to look at, starting with Helene Wisdom Star, who's always running on.
He is. Look, I've got him in as well. He's drawn 9, so he'll get back. He'll be running on once again. So, look, he's definitely a major chance. Fearless Fire, he's had a tough season, Fearless Fire, but look, he's sort of been finishing the 5th, 6th in his last few starts.
Yeah, and he looked a bit one pace, I thought, down the outside last start, but he did have a tough run. Nothing this night with going to beat 6th generation. Helene Wisdom Star just goes on a minor line. I thought he pretty much had every chance on the fence there from back in the field.
And next up, Tom, we have got Big 2, who's finding starts a little bit awkward. He used to be such a great beginner.
Yeah, and he missed it again last time out, didn't he? But he was able to race relatively handy. It was, again, this was the race referred to as a bit of a strange contest where there was some interference down the back straight, and he sort of was able to stay clear of that, Paul, so that was a benefit for him, but he has been a little hard to catch recently.
Yeah, he has. He's drawn 8 too, so if he misses away, that's where I thought he might just be caught wide. That could be his problem.
June Planet, Paul, is a horse that likes to get back to speed. Map does say the pace could be good to slow, so he'll be hoping someone takes off mid-race, won't he?
Yeah, exactly. It might even be him. We'll see how he goes with that. Son of Not a Single Doubt. He's drawn 12. He'll get back once again. He'll run on once again. So he goes in on a minor line.
I'm going to take another chance with them here. 6.5, 3.8 in early betting at the moment. So always running on down the outside. Maybe they've got to try and do something different with him if they can get him to somehow produce some more early speed. But yeah, I'm not sure.
As a look at the replays, we heard from Harry Bentley too. Can he add another one here, Paul?
Yeah, I think he can. It's just uncomplicated, as they say. Go to the front, try and go as slow as possible and sprint home. So he's on top. Helene Wisdom Star will be running on. June Planet, he does what he does. He gets back, he runs on. And I've got Big 2 on a minor line, but I'm just a little bit worried about where he's going to be in the run. 3, 4, 8, 7.
June Planet obviously has talent, but is going to need a bit of luck with maybe how this race pans out. Number 8, if he doesn't win, I think Dinkum can be in a good position to strike here. He's at 15 to 1 in the market at the moment. Raced a bit keen last start, but he has got some good enough form on the board behind How Deep Is Your Love, Victor the Winner, Flagship Warrior, first time beyond 1,400 metres for Dinkum. Number 3 goes in Splendid Living, and 4, Helene Wisdom Star. 8, 1, 3 and 4.
And that is the preview for the first leg of the Triple Trio. It's race number 5.